Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where we are rolling along building this 94 GMC Stepside that's been sitting up for years, being neglected and abandoned project 6 years ago by me. Okay, so bodywork wise, that's what we're continuing with. We stripped the roof, it was all rusty, stripped it down, put some rust treatment, primed it, actually sanded it and reprimed it, so that's pretty much ready for paint. The roof, just needs to be scuffed. Okay, and we stripped down this door here and the cab corner, fixed some pretty good sized dents right in here and here. They need to be blocked down and reprimed, just from about here down. Rest of it's okay. Okay, so we're the front end is off a 95 Suburban, so it didn't have the same paint problems as the cab and the doors, or this door of this truck had. So the paint's good on this, other than that's happened over the last few years, got some hail dents, may fix a few. Okay, and then this door here was off another truck at some point. That's how I got it, so I didn't put it on there. We got to fix a couple of big dents here. We got to strip all this old paint off. It's all cracked, so that needs to be all down to the metal. And we got to fix this bottom of the door here, where I think they jacked it up with a piece of wood to try to line it up. And then the bottom of this cab here is dented. But first off, and a little dent here where we, I guess, tried to line up the front end to it years ago. Okay, the bed I think is off another truck. It's fiberglass. This is metal here. We're going to strip down this metal to the metal. And this tailgate, we got this big dent here, and we'll probably end up stripping it down, but at least all up here needs to be stripped down. Dent there, dent there. Okay, now the rest of the bed's fiberglass, and it's been smacked in the ass end. And 6 years ago I started fixing this piece here. You can see through there, there's big holes and cracks. I think it was all busted apart from here up. So you can see where I grinded some of it down and I didn't grind some of it. That's where it's flaking, where it wasn't ground down. We're going to grind over the top surface and redo it. Okay, and we got a crack right here. Or did we? Yeah, that's covered up a little bit there. Anyway, we're going to redo this corner. Okay. Now you can see this here, the big crack. Don't know how that happened. See if we can see inside here. See inside right there. Okay, so I'm going to take a little grinder. We're going to grind wherever we put fiberglass. I'm going to try to get at the back too, and we'll put some fiberglass matting behind in the back for good backing, because the front's more cosmetic. You can't keep building this up with fiberglass cloth, because then it'll stick out, and look stupid. So you got to kind of do it from the back. We put just a little one piece of cloth on there. But yeah, we got to grind it down, or else it'll end up like this and not sticking. You got to grind it down like this. Okay, what's this corner? This one's got a little bit right here. See right here, but then this side is just Goes all the way from here. And then this is bent up. Looks like somebody put a jack or something there. I don't know. But this was in the bed of it. Pretty sure this is where... Now shit, the little end is busted off that side. Pretty sure that's where that went, maybe. I go on there. I don't know, I'll have to figure that out. As you can see the back here, it's all figure out where this piece goes. Maybe I can find another rod. If not, we can weld a little tab on there and bolt that. Let's see, that one's bolted to there, so it bolts. Looks like it bolts up to here. We could tack weld it on there or something like that. Okay. I don't know if this... I think this one here is good. So we basically got 3 corners to fix. Okay, so the first is to grind it down. I'm going to do that and I'll come back. And what we're going to fix it with is I bought this at Walmart. The prices have gone through the roof, guys. So this is 25 bucks. Okay, and what comes with it is this. It was all leaking. And you get all this resin's already leaking out of here. So every time you touch it, your hands are going to get sticky. So just a little bit of resin, some cloth, stir stick. That's hardener for the resin. You don't put very much of that in there. Now this is some old stuff I had. There's not much left in this thing, but we're going to try to use it. Probably have to cut the can open, get every last drop out of there. And I remember over time these little plastic things disintegrate, and you can buy this hardener separate. So basically you only put in a couple of drops of that and mix it. Mix the resin in here and just put a couple of drops of the hardener, mix it all up. And you want to cut these in lengths that you need. Use a pair of scissors or a razor blade, and well, I'll show that when I come back to it. And I've got some brushes that I will spread that on with. I buy these brushes in bulk, boxes of them. These here, get them all different sizes. We'll use one of them. We'll mix it all up and spread it on there with that. But anyway, let me grind it all down and get it ready, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm just going to use this little die grinder with a thicker disc on it instead of a cutting wheel. And you see this crack down here. So okay, so you can see it's kind of sticking out here at the bottom. We're gonna probably cut that so it's kind of loose and flat. Okay, so I'm gonna grind all this area out and in the back there. Okay, show you a few things I got. I got the clips, like $6, and I got the other roll of side molding, so I got enough side moldings to do the whole truck now. Okay, so we'll do that here in a little while. I took this rubber off the 97 parts Tahoe, and they go in here. Of course, the Tahoe goes all the way because it's a 4-door, so I'm gonna have to cut it here. And this is pretty tight here, so I'm wondering if they took them out because the door wouldn't close right. It's too thick. We'll find that out too. So anyway, I got them for both sides. Okay, let me get this ground out and I'll show you how I'm gonna do it. I'll be back. Okay guys, I got this ground down and got it ground so it's took off the tension right there. So it's pretty flush. So I used some scissors and cut out some pieces of fiberglass cloth. We'll just put one coat on this crack here, and then at the back we'll probably put a couple of these at the back to cover up the crack. And we don't have to do anything at the back of that, make it smooth or anything, so it doesn't have to be nice and neat, but this does. So we're going to mix up some resin with that brush, wipe on a coat, stick on the matting, and then wipe another coat on there, and let it dry. And it takes a lot longer to dry than like bondo and stuff. Okay, this was a pretty bad couple of cracks here. I guess it got hit in here. I think just resin, we'll just fill that in with resin. Okay, I didn't do too much here other than it needs to be built up just a little bit here. And I think this crack, I didn't put any cloth. I just put some resin, put a little piece of cloth there. This needs to be all sanded down and get rid of this loose stuff. I don't know if I did the back. I probably didn't get around to doing the backing of that, so we'll probably put some backing in that. Okay, this one here was pretty bad. See, I ground it down to get it loose because it had some tension on it. It was about to fall off. I didn't really want it to, but this piece did fall off. That goes on the bottom here. And then I ground down this area here. So we're gonna put some cloth. Same thing, I got the scissors and the cloth here. Gonna cut off some strips of cloth for here and get that in there so it's not all loose. And then we'll work on the back and getting these put into place. We'll just kind of put them on there, put some resin glue, and stick that in there. And that's the thing with fiberglass, you put it on, let it dry, put it on, let it dry 3 or 4 times, so it takes a while. And then it's cracked all the way down here, and then cracked up here. So same thing, see it's got a little bit of tension. We want to strengthen that up before we do too much major behind it and stuff. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay guys, I mixed up a little bit of resin. The stuff in the old can was no good. So, mixed up a little bit of hardener with that, and then we'll, as I said, just brush it in there. Okay, it's kind of a messy job. Get all that resin and stuff on your hands. Probably best to use gloves. But there's a little piece there, a little bit more resin, and soak it in there real good. Like I said, one of these is good enough for the front because you don't want it built up too much. You want to strengthen it up through the back. I could have probably sanded or grinded that out a little bit better, or a little bit more wider, but that's all right. When we sand it down, we'll feather all the edges out there. Okay, and I probably can't see at the back very good. Okay, so we'll basically do the same thing at the back. I'm gonna put about 2 of these on the back of it. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, we're over on the other side. This first batch dried up pretty fast. I'm still using the same brush. I probably should use another brush. It's not spreading very good. It's all hardened up now. Brush. Let me get another brush. Okay. Okay, I can spread it a little bit better. Okay, got a couple of pieces there. Try to do everything with one hand. I want to actually pull that out a little bit like that. Okay, and I got another little strip here for this along the bottom here, and a couple little spots for this. So let me do that and I'll be back. Okay guys, I didn't need the passenger side. It was still on there. So I cut this one to fit. So this is it here. Okay, I'll take it off to paint it. It just pulls off, but well, and the door closes okay. So that's good. That'll keep the wind noise out, rain out, whatever. Okay, it's getting late in the day. It's about 8 o'clock. So we're gonna let this resin dry overnight till the morning. And then we'll put another coat on there, do the backing, put this little piece on there, put that little brace on there, and then concentrating on smoothing the outside out. And put a couple little pieces here where the cracks were, and we'll have to sand all the chips and everything out of here. We'll sand it down real good. Okay, I'll be back in the morning. Okay guys, I worked on it a couple hours today. It's was in the hundreds, then it was in the 90s. Now it's back in the hundreds and sunny. It was hot as hell today, so I didn't work too much. Started stripping this down here to the metal, and it looks like it was this color. Then they painted the white. Usually it's the other way. It'd be white, then they'd paint the two-tone. So anyway, we got a couple layers here to sand off. I'll show you some more maybe tomorrow. Show you the lacquer checking underneath all this. And then we got this one we may have to grind all that off. It may be too thick. Okay, and I started DAing with 80 grit. This is that little area here. So we got that pretty flush. And you can put bondo on fiberglass. Now don't try to fix fiberglass cracks with bondo. But once you get it like this, where you've done the matting and the resin and smoothed out, you can put a little bit of bondo over there to block it out and smooth it. Don't be trying that with the resin. Keep building up resin, because it'll take you forever. Yeah, you can use a little bit of bondo on that. Put a little bit more fiberglass here and here. We're gonna smooth out that corner there, and that was a hole that went through. Okay, and I spent the most time on this bottom here, putting a couple layers, those two broken pieces. I had to kind of tape it in there with tape. No, you can see very good. Then put some matting and resin on there. Then undid the tape and put some more. So we got those two pieces on there. Tomorrow we'll put this brace on. And this brace, I thought it went here, but it actually goes right there, according to the other side. So we'll get that. It's broke, but the end of it's still right there. So we'll tack that on there, bolt that there, and get that on there. Okay, so that's about all I did. I didn't get much done. See what we can get done tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow. I'm gonna take Nikki for a walk. Right, Nikki, you ready to go for a walk? Nikki, ready to go for a walk? Nikki, want to go for a walk? Okay, hang on, Nikki, we'll go for a walk, okay? Okay, I just posted the other video yesterday, so thanks again for all the condolences about Puppy. Yeah, it's been tough, guys. He's very, very missed. But what can you do? You wish they could live as long as humans, but they never do. This is really about the third time I've went through this. Had a first German Shepherd, really 8 years, next one 12 years, and then Puppy 12 years. So yeah, it's never easy. It never gets any easier. But anyway, thanks for all the prayers and condolences and stuff like that. She was a great dog. Yeah, and she'll live on in all the old videos there. I'll probably be a while before I watch them, because it'll just make me tear up and stuff watching her in the old videos. But they're there, as long as Chinese don't wipe out the satellites with a EMP, and YouTube and the internet will be gone. But as long as YouTube's here, she'll be on there. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, guys, I used a little bit of this. I don't have much left. There's some in the bottom was kind of hard, getting hard. So I mixed some of that up with some resin and some hardener, mixed it all up, and put that on as a filler instead of bondo for the first coat. So that's it here. And then once that's dry, I'm going to DA that down and then do the rest with bondo. But I got all the big stuff filled with this. And then I did a little bit here. I actually put some more resin and cloth here. And I had this little bit extra, so I put that there. Then I had a little bit extra bondo, so I put that there. So you're going to DA that smooth and just smear the whole thing with bondo. There and there. And then I mixed up a little bondo and fixed some little areas here. And then a little bit of bondo over that fiberglass repair there. And we got to put a little bit more little bondo on this here too. So that's basically what I'll be doing. Be doing that, and then we'll strip this door down and see if we can fix the dents on that. And then I filled in this little area here, smooth that out, and I don't know if you can see, that's the repair on the inside. And then I had to bend this rod here to fit. It's going to fit perfectly in there. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to sand a little bit of this, show you. Okay guys, let me do it with 2 hands, but yeah, just smooth it out the best you can, and then block it down and be ready to prime. Well, I'm going to go over all this with 180 grit on the DA and sand all this. This is a little plastic protective coating. Sand that off, get all these chips out of there, sand it all down, and then prime it. Same with here, we'll block it out, smooth it out. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay guys, it's getting pretty close to priming it. It's got a few little, I use Bondo with spot putty, so there's just a few little spots I gotta sand down. Okay, got a few comments, messages about Weird Beard's last video of him painting a truck with spray cans. What I thought about it, painting a truck or a vehicle with spray cans. Don't do it. I'm not sure why he done that, and just painted over the, didn't even do no body work, just painted over the dents. I don't know if it's his truck, customer's truck, if he's selling it. I don't know. I don't think he ever mentioned it. But, and then he didn't mention how many cans he used. And in the comments somebody asked him, he said he used 10 cans of orange, 3 cans of white. That's 13 cans. That's $7 a can, that's $91. Now, the truck didn't have a bed on it. So if it had a bed on it, what would it be? Another 3, 4, 5 cans? So right there, he's over what I paid to paint this truck for the paint. I bought a gallon. I got it over here. Bought a gallon of acrylic enamel, reducer hardener. $111 shipped. Comes with stick strainers, all that stuff, mixing, little mixing thing. So it's not any cheaper, guys. I mean, he'd spend over $111 if he had to paint the whole truck, and he only had 2 coats. For that gallon, I'm going to get 3 good coats on this, and I'm going to get the inside of the bed and the jambs all in 1 gallon. He would do another 2 or 3 cans to do the inside of the bed and the jambs. So it's not no cheaper. Now, he did mention that it's for guys that don't have a paint gun, don't have a compressor. Well, a paint gun's 14 bucks. Cost of two spray cans. Okay, and then you get a compressor, 200 bucks or so. Okay, so what's he had a few comments in his video of people that did it and they would never do it again. One guy said after a couple of months it just faded out. He ended up selling it because he didn't want to paint it again. Now that's the biggest problem, guys. You can't repaint that again. That spray can doesn't have hardener in it. It doesn't actually dry hard. Like this acrylic enamel with the hardener in it, it'll be just like scuffing down this factory paint, and you can paint over it. You try to just paint over spray can paint, it is going to wrinkle, and it's just going to be god awful. And believe me, I done it, you know, back when I was a kid, and never again. I don't know why Weird Beard would do that unless he's just selling it or getting rid of it. But yeah, what you would have to do, you know how I scraped off some of this white paint with a razor blade? You would have to scrape all that spray can paint off with a razor blade or stripper, or grind it off or something if you had to repaint it. And you will have to repaint it after a few months. Sitting out in the sun, it's just going to bake off. Well, it's going to fade first, and then it's going to start peeling and just coming off if you just let it sit in the sun. So yeah, guys, I think I mentioned it before. I do not recommend painting with spray cans or tractor paint or any of that cheap alkyd enamel. There's some real cheap stuff that you can use in a spray can, alkyd enamel, I think. Don't use any of that stuff. If you're using paint, the lowest I'm going is acrylic. I like using urethane, but it's just gotten up a little bit too high. If I was keeping this truck, I'd spend the extra $100 or so and get it done with acrylic, paint it with acrylic urethane, the Nason 2K that I use. But I am just selling this, and it's not going to just fade out in a couple of months. It'll look like the Avalanche here. That's some cheap paint off of Summit acrylic urethane, it's called. And we're going to check that. I'm keeping that truck, so if it fades out or something. And also with that spray can stuff, you can't buff it, wax it, anything like that. It'll just make it worse. So I don't recommend it. Nothing against Weird Beard. I don't know if he's just doing it for YouTube views. He does YouTube for a living. He doesn't quit his job a while back. And you get a lot of hits when you do that. Spray a car with spray cans and for cheap and advertise all that, and you get good views. You know, I'm not like that. I'm not a full-time YouTuber doing it for money. So I'm going to give you the straight scoop. Don't waste your time. It's a waste of time and money and everything else, especially if you're keeping it, especially if you're keeping a vehicle. But like I said, it ain't no cheaper. It ain't no cheaper. $111. Get the whole paint kit from eBay and spray it with a spray gun. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Okay, I started DAing. Got some 180 grit here, and just feathering all the edges out, and just got to sand down these little spots, and then I'm going to prime it. Okay, then we'll move on to the dent in the tailgate, stripping this door. We need to get the heat gun out. See if a few people mention if you heat this up, the blue will come back. We'll try it. We got to take this door panel off. I got the new clips and this panel here, so we got to take it apart and that. So yeah, we'll do that too. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, got a little primer. Okay, let me put a couple more coats of primer on there, and I'll be back. Okay guys, there it is, all fixed. Fixing to put the brace on there, tack welded on. It's got a few little chips and stuff, fill in later. Okay, so go in for dinner, and we'll come back and probably strip this top metal and maybe pull this dent out of the tailgate. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, we're gonna strip the metal on this top part here. Got my electric DA sander with 80 grit. Okay. Looks like it was white, then this gold color here, and then white over top of that. So it doesn't look like it's got the same problem paint as the cab and the doors do. So it looks like it'll sand off and feather edge, but it's so chipped. That's why we're not going to try to feather little chips and stuff. We're just going to strip her right down to the metal like this. Okay, and then this, I don't know if you can see very good. I'll come back when I get some 180 grit, and we'll smooth this out with 180 after 80, and then we'll go over this and get all this, I don't know if that's clear or what. It's mainly just on this top here, and so we'll sand that down smooth. Okay, so let me strip this area here and I'll be back. Okay guys, I stripped all this down. It's got a bunch of holes here, probably from a toolbox. We're gonna just fill them in with bondo. If you wanted to do a better job, you could weld them up, but like I said, we're just gonna sell this. A little hole there and a little hole here, and then these are all dents, you can see. So we'll put a little bondo on there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so we got some 180, and we'll go over these areas here. See how easy it is to feather. Oh yeah. Okay, that's feathering out real nice. So that's what we'll do. We'll just feather this area out here. This area like this can just be hand sanded, but we just got to get all that loose crap off there. So let me sand this down with 180 and I'll be back. Okay guys, that come out pretty slick. So this, we're just going to put a light coat of primer on that. Then scuff it with, I use 400 to 600, all I got is 600 left. Fold your paper like that, but what we're gonna do is you don't want a primer on areas that haven't been sanded. So we're just gonna go over this whole panel and sand it all. Okay, scuff it all down. So, and especially in the edges here. So we're just priming this area, but if overspray gets up here or down here, it's not gonna matter, it's gonna stick. So after that's all dry, then you can just scuff the whole panel down. But yeah, there's little chips like this, and you don't want to try to feather that out like we did here, because that's fiberglass. You'll just, it's called an asshole. You'll end up with a big asshole in there. What you want to do is just sand it over and then put some putty in there, which I use bondo as spot putty. So you'll be putting a little bit of bondo on there and then sand it off smooth. Same with these little, there's couple little pinholes here. I think I showed you, there's just little spots. I'm going to go over the whole truck. But this side, we got to do the same thing as the other side. There's all dents on here, holes to fill. That's what I'll be doing here in a minute. I'll be mixing up a little bondo. You want to take a little hammer, like this one here is up a little bit, and there. Tap a hammer. Let me grab it here real quick. It should be. Where my good one is, but you just want to tap them down a little bit. go over them like that, and then I'm just gonna give her a little skim. Pretty good sized dent here. Skim this area. It ain't gonna be perfect. It'll be a little bit wavy, but we're not looking for perfection. But since we're filling in these holes, we might as well fill in the good sized dents. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're gonna do, and then have this whole area ready to prime. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay guys, I got a little bondo mixed up. We'll put a little bit on this. That's all you want to do, just a little bit like that on those chips. Okay, we're just going to fill this in. Like I said, you can weld it if you want, or put some of that bondo glass on there. But I'm not going to worry about it. It's just the top of the bed, and I'm just going to be selling it. So. But yeah, just try and do this fast because it's going to dry quick. You can kind of see where all the dents are. Okay. That's probably about it. There's probably going to be more waves and stuff, but like I said, that's it. We're just going to sand that down, and not going to bother re-skimming it and blocking it and all that stuff. So we got a little bit. Put a little bit on these areas like that. There's one there. Couple little spots there. Couple little pinholes to be expected. Okay, yeah, I think that's about it then. It's drying up pretty fast. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay guys, I took the door panel off. See how faded it is up here from the sun. So I got my heat gun here, and a few people said to heat it up. So we're going to try it on this area here. One or two people said to take acetone and linseed oil and all that stuff. We're not going to do any of that. An Armor-All won't bring the color back. Heat might. We'll try it here. Try it on this little area right here. Oh, now it looks like it's doing it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I did wipe the dirt off some of this. I wiped it down, but it's filthy. So I'm not going to do the whole thing right now. So yeah, we'll see if that holds. And get a piece of this dry, non-dirty paper towel on. It's really dull, but I think that might be all right. We take a little bit of Armor All to that. If it stays blue like that, it's a lot better than that. But I'll tell you what, guys, it's going to take a while. And I was thinking maybe I'll just do a separate video and do this whole both sides. And then try some Armor All. I don't mind the Armor All, but not the acetone and the linseed oil and all that crap. But I got plenty of Armor All from being in junk cars. So yeah, maybe we'll try the whole thing. We'll do that next video, because these videos of the bodywork's taking a while, guys. 3, 4, 5 days each because of the heat. Today wasn't too bad. It's been cloudy. It's still 100 degrees, but I've been out here most of the day off and on. So yeah, let me make a little video of doing both these door panels, see if we can make them come back to life. I still deciding whether I want to buy these caps here. This one's 30 bucks, the other side's 20, so basically 50 bucks I can get new ones, but they'll need to be painted. They're like beige or something color, but I can paint them black and it won't look too bad. Anyway, yeah, let me make a separate video of that. We'll clean that up. And we'll clean it up real good first. Scrub it down with some soap and clean it up real good. Okay, I took my cheese grater, grated that off a little bit, and then we'll just go over this DA with 80 grit. And probably 180. 80, then 180, and then it's ready to prime. Sand out these little areas here. So how about we end this video at that? I'll make a little video for the door panels next. If it don't work, it should now, but if it don't, we're gonna paint them. So stay tuned, see whether that'll all work or whether we can paint it. And I'll have to go get some blue paint or maybe black. And then we'll make a video of doing all the rest of the body work, which ain't much left now. Just that dent on the tailgate and stripping down this door. And the main dent here, a couple along the bottom. Just this door, and that's it. The rest of the body work's done. Although we got to do this to the other side, but that won't take very long. So that'll be coming up next after the door panels, and then we can paint it. Oh, I got this dent too here in the cab, bottom of the cab. So anyway, guys, I think that'll be it for this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, like, all that stuff. And we'll see y'all next video. Nikki, you about ready to go for a walk? You about ready to go for a walk, girl? You about ready to go for a walk? You're such a good girl. Okay, and again, I wasn't attacking Weird Beard or anything like that. So So don't say I'm trashing him or anything like that. He makes good videos and spends a lot of time on those videos. I just would not recommend anybody to spray can paint a car. It's not no cheaper, and it's, you know, if I was a YouTuber doing YouTube videos, I would do that. I'd take a junk car and I'd spray can it just like Weirdbeard did, and I'd let it sit out here and let you guys see what it looks like after a couple weeks or a month. Show you the fading and the peeling, and then I'd probably even attempt to spray some paint over top of that and show you how it'll all wrinkle up and how it needs to be stripped, and what a colossal waste of time and money and stuff it is to butcher up a car like that and spray can it. Okay, it's fine if you're going to spray can a piece of junk car and send it on down the road, but if you're going to keep it, or you're going to don't care about what the next owner is going to come back pissed at you for having the paint all. But anyway, I don't know, maybe that's what Weirdbeard is doing, but more power to him. He makes good videos. Go check it out. It's an old, I don't know, 60 something pickup, just the front, no bed on it. I don't know what he's doing with it. He didn't explain if he's putting a bed on it or making a flat bed, or I don't know. I don't even know if it, like I said, if it's his or his customers or what. But yeah, go check it out. Tell me what y'all think about spray cans, if any of you guys did it and had the same results that I mentioned. But yeah, I'm in no way trashing him, but it is a good learning type of situation you need to learn from. And he had a lot of comments of people that were, oh, that looks great, that looks great. Well, the camera made it look good and it come out kind of shiny, but he just didn't do no body work. It was all full of dents and stuff, and like I said, after a few weeks or a month, it'll just look like hell. It'll look worse than it was. But yeah, comment, let me know. I'll know if you've spray canned a car, know somebody spray canned a car and had those results. The only way I could see it lasting is you stick it in the garage and never take it out. Climate control garage and leave it in there, cover on it, don't get no dust, don't wash it, don't wax it, and it'll be fine. But that's not realistic. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. See y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.